Hi there, I'm Becky and welcome to today's video where today we are going to be doing things a little bit differently. So let's get started. So to start off, I firstly want to show you my most recent finished knits. I am quite happy with this first one. I made some gloves and these are actually my own pattern. I have been knitting for almost 6 months now and I just kind of went for it one day and I made my own pattern. So I think that is quite cool. I'm very proud of myself, of course. It was not as hard as I thought it was going to be, but it was also just as hard as I thought it would be. So they are just regular glommets, call them what you may, call them what you like. And then you just put the cap on over top and you have some nice and functional gloves. So these I made with baby merino yarn, I believe. And yeah, so perfect for the winter. I even embroidered a little flower on this one. I should have probably made a flower for this one as well, but yeah, I think that's cute. Then my next one is the Elizabeth blouse by Petite Knits, and this came out quite nicely. I actually blocked it finally, and it actually fixed a lot of the mistakes and the irregularities, I guess, and it's just so nice. It's quite beautiful, but I have to be honest, it came out exactly what I expected it to, and then I kind of realized it's not really my style, so that's kind of fun. But I actually have a project vlog on this as well, so you can go and watch that video where I go a bit more into depth about the process and my thoughts concerning it. It was quite a project, I have to say. A lot of things went wrong, but I'm happy I finished it. But yeah, not my favorites. Okay, so those were my most recent finished knits. Now I'm going to get into what I'm actually currently working on, and it's quite exciting, I have to say. So first up, I am working on the Richard sweater, I believe, and I think it's by Garn Studio, I think. I'm so sorry if I'm wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. But yeah, so I'm busy with a men's knit, my very first men's knit actually, and wow, I chose well, not I chose, my husband actually chose this pattern, and I tried so hard to get him to choose another one, because if you can see, it's all ribbed. This whole sweater is just ribbing, like even the arms, everything is just ribbing. So I've made quite a bit of progress, I guess, but yeah, it's going very slow because I'm not always in the mood to rib the whole time. Every time I finish a row, I'm like, oh, okay, nice, the ribbing is done, and then I want to go into stockinette, and it's just confused me completely. And when I was busy with the gloves, actually, I regularly wanted to go back to ribbing, so I will go on with the stockinette, and then next moment I will catch myself actually starting to rib. So that's fun. My brain is completely messed up thanks to this. So I actually have the yarn there. I am using Denim Effects, Marvel Denim Effects for this one. This is actually the only like a 12 ply, right? Yeah, 12 ply yarn I could find, and sadly it's acrylic. I would have liked to make my husband one with merino or something a bit more natural, but I was actually unable to find a merino in that ply, so yeah, so I'm stuck with these now. But it's working up quite nicely and it's quite soft as well. At least it's a very high quality acrylic, so it's quite fun. Yeah, I think I'm doing quite well. I'm just busy with the increases right now, and that's quite annoying because the pattern doesn't actually tell you which increases to use. So me being quite a beginner and I really need exact instructions, it's quite annoying that the pattern is doing that. So yeah, yeah, but it's fine. I figured it out eventually, and yeah, I think I have about this is about half, I think, because it's knit in the round, so I have about half of the body done, maybe. And also, as you can see, sorry, it's from the bottom up. So it's actually my first sweater I'm doing that's not a raglan as well. And I'm already disliking the random increases you have. You're not even able to see them, at least, but there's random increases everywhere. So it's quite, I don't know if I like it yet. And also it's quite unnerving to know that I'm starting with the easy part and then I'm going to work up and then get to possibly short rows or whatever. I don't even know if this pattern has short rows, but anyway, so this is the one I'm busy with. And then I saw this beautiful, I believe it's actually a scarf pattern on Pinterest the other day from Darling Jador, I think. I will put a photo up for you. And I just saw like this lace pattern, and I've never actually done lace before, and I was so intrigued to figure out how can I mimic this. And I actually, after quite a lot of trying and practicing and failing and just not understanding how on earth the yarn over thing works, eventually I actually got to a point where I made a swatch and I'm finally happy with it. And now I am actually going to make a shawl, not a scarf. I'm going to be making a shawl. So I think that's going to be quite fun, but I also think this is going to be quite a hefty project for me, because trying to put a lifeline into lace work is going to be quite hard. It's going to be knit flat, so luckily every second row will actually just be a knit row or just a purl row, so I will be actually able to put a lifeline in over there, because I have no idea how to put a lifeline in lace work otherwise, so that would have been a disaster. But luckily I was able to figure it out that I would not actually have a problem with that. Actually, and now that I see this book, I have been using this book so much. I highly recommend you to get some sort of knitting book. It helps you so much. It actually has almost the exact pattern that the scarf has, because it's actually just regular like zigzag lace. So if you can see that one, it's just about the same. The only difference is just there's more of a gap in between, and there's just some diagonal lace stitches as well. So I was actually able to learn how to do this diagram and everything. So it's actually the first time I've had to do a diagram and to read a diagram, and it's not as bad as I thought, but it can be quite confusing. But yeah, so I'm busy with that as well, but I haven't actually started it yet. I cast it on just this morning, and just look at this. This is my longest cable as well. This is the 30-inch or 75 centimeter cable. So this is going to be horrible, I think. So yeah, and also I'm using quite thin yarn. I am using 4 Seasons, Flinders 100% cotton. I think I might have gone for a compact yarn. I think I should have gone for something a bit more flowy and a bit less, I guess, compact, or a bit less structured, maybe. Something that will be a bit more, loose. So I don't know, I'm probably going to regret doing it with this specific yarn, but I'll just see how that turns out, kind of. So yeah, that is the 2 projects I am currently working on. I actually have quite a few plans for this video, and I'm not sure how much of it I'm actually going to be able to do. I really want to make some stitch markers as well, because with this lace pattern I would like to put in a stitch marker every time I completed a repeat like section, so that I don't get confused onto which stitch I am, because obviously this is 177 stitches, I think, so it's going to be quite easy to get confused. So I would like to make some stitch markers with some either polymer clay or air dry clay. Yeah, then just a little bit of a talk concerning YouTube at the moment. So this is actually why I want to do things a little bit differently. I would really like to post a video every single week because that keeps me quite accountable and it keeps me going and it just keeps me going. But it is almost impossible to finish a knit project every single week because a lot of it takes a lot of time. Maybe if you are knitting for like 3 days straight, you will be able to knit a sweater or a garment in a week's time, but that is not very enjoyable, and I would not like to burn myself out and to lose this passion for knitting. And that is kind of slowly starting to happen because every single week I have to think of something quick and easy to make to upload a video. And I realized that I am trying to work harder and not smarter, which is why this video is going to be quite a bit different than the rest of them, because I've just realized that I'm not doing this very clever. I'm not being very smart with it. So I've been watching quite a lot of other knitters on YouTube and they are quite successful, and they have like podcast episodes or work in progress episodes where they just work on a project for a week or so and they just update you on how they are going, and then maybe once a month or once every 2 months they actually post a finished project video, and it seems to be working for them quite well and they are reaching so many people. And I've just realized that I am just not able to finish something every week, or even every second week is quite a lot. And if you really think about it, to have a new sweater every second week, you're going to end up with a lot of sweaters. And I just think that it's going to begin to suck the absolute joy out of it, and I don't want that to happen. So the plan going forth is that I will maybe do weekly updates maybe on what I am working on, but I'll also try to have something a bit more interesting in between as well. Like today I would like to do the stitch markers maybe. So yeah, maybe every week or every second week more a update video, and then maybe a project vlog as well, because I am doing a project vlog for this sweater too, where I go into depth in what I think of the pattern and the yarn and just my process on it. Because I also realized that working on one sweater for like 3 months and then only posting one video of it is quite silly as well. You're not going to reach a lot of people that way, and a lot of people might have missed that video, but now you mention it in this video and then they will be curious to go and watch the other one, and I just feel like it might be a bit more fulfilling that way, I believe. So yeah, I think that's about it. I hope you like this new change. I am still figuring this out and still figuring out how to do this correctly and do it so that I enjoy it, but also to make sure that you actually have content that is worth your time. That's the other thing. So I don't want to ever waste your precious 20 or 25 minutes. So I'll always be sure to keep it snappy and keep it entertaining. And yeah, I hope that's good. If you have any suggestions also, or if you have an opinion on this, or maybe you don't like update videos randomly, let me know in the comments. Yeah, but that's enough talking now. I think I am going to start with the clay first. And yeah, then it's Sunday right now and this video needs to go out on Friday. So this will basically be the progress I am able to make between today and before Friday. So I might not get very far with these projects, but I would like to maybe do a bit of an update at the end of the video as well. But it's going on for way too long already and I'm talking too much. So I will get started with that and stop talking. So it's a few days later now, and I haven't gotten nearly as far as I would have liked, but I had quite a few mishaps with the clay. I somehow managed to completely burn my very first batch, and I forgot that you needed to bake them at a temperature of 135 degrees Celsius, and I baked them at 180 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Luckily, about maybe like 10 or 12 minutes in, when I looked into the oven, it started bubbling, and I was like, I did something wrong. So that happened, so I had to redo all of my stitch markers the next day. And that was actually quite fine because I learned a new technique with the clay, and this is absolutely amazing for me. I enjoyed it so much to do this. They call it clay cane. So basically what you do is just you have a enlarged version of what you want. So you can put any amount of detail in this block of clay, and then you just keep pressing it and just compacting it the whole time, and eventually it comes out quite small, and all of that detail is still captured in that like log, and I was mind blown. I loved it so much. So now I have quite a few stitch markers, so I finally have something that won't actually make gaps in between your work, because I found that the stitch markers I got with the Chiago sets, actually they were too thick, so they kind of made gaps in between your work, and I didn't like that. So these are quite good. So I will definitely be playing with the clay more from now on. That was just an awesome experience. And the only thing I actually made any progress on, sadly, this week was just the shawl, which is all tangled up, but that is about the progress I made. Also, this had a mishap as well. I accidentally made it way bigger than I wanted it to be, so I had to reduce the amount of stitches I had. So I had 177, I believe, and I was just about this far into it as well when I realized it was way too long. So I then had to start over again, and now I have 120 stitches or something like that, I believe, but it's coming out quite nice, and the stitch markers are helping a lot to just help me to know when to start my repeats. So quite nice, but sadly that is the only progress I made. I didn't progress on the Richard sweater at all, so yeah, didn't get very far. But anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any other ideas or things that you want me to try, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.